EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a very loud and a sold-out Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go, fellas. Watch what you say. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Darnold gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Herndon's got it complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Switch. Hey, high 7. 61, matchbox lights. Now, lady.
Throwing again is Darnold. Found his target. It's Anderson. His first catch of the divisional round goes for a first down. He had 5 catches last week in their wild card win. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
Mike, check, 59.
Now a first down carry by Bell. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Bengals' 35-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch the run. Who draw Porker?
They'll try the right side with Bell. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Not the touchdown they wanted, but hey, you're on the road in the playoffs. They did get 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's a good opening drive, so you feel good about it yourself. You get to the sidelines. The defense feels good about you helping them right out of the gate. The team, yeah, they feel pretty good about coming in the playoffs and getting points on the board right away.
Mike, 57.
Squeeze, double. Hey.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Throwing is Jackson. He's got his man, Boyd. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Henry Anderson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
On third down, Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. On first down, Bell, and he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll run it with Bell, and he is going to lose yardage here. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Do you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Open man is Anderson. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 22-yard line.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A big play there for the Bengals. 43 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now Joe Mixon, and tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Mike, 50 seconds.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson eluding the pressure right. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And the pressure gets to him again. Jordan Willis drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't he?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
He's going to air one out for Anderson. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson, 92 yards. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. But it'll be 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Jackson now to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. Looking sideline, incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And Eifert has it. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 35.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 2nd down. Jackson will throw again. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by at Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
152 fighter.
On 1st and 10, Darnold into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. He had 5 catches in the wild card win, and that's his 5th here, and it's good for a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. He gets this one to Boyd. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And an alley to run. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
I smell fear in that offense. Go, 57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson flush to his right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but that's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross, as the first half is winding down, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Darnold now at 200 yards already in this first half, and he's not done yet. 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the slant. Check foot. Hey, orbit.
Darnold from the gun. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And it's 2nd down.
It moves to 2nd and 10.
Now the second-year kicker, Michael Badgley. He hit from 59 as a rookie. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one is right down Broadway. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Strip that ball.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Gets it to his running back, Bernard. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Mixon. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyree Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. Now Bullock to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Check. Check out 6-6. Full high.
Now Darnold. It got his man complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Here's Darnold. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
2nd down and 10, Darnold. That'll be taken in by Anderson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Darnold now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Bell. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Dancing to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He's got 9 points on field goal. A bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receiver.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Now the Bengals on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Throwing is Jackson. Going deep downfield for Ross. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Darnold. That one complete to Anderson. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. I'll tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
We're going to sign. 57. Ready? Mike's 57. 57's locked. Go.
Now on 2nd and 13. Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Geno Atkins. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Bravo. 57 to Mike. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. 57. Ready?
3rd and long, it's Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th. 1 score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Trick. Ready? 36. Ready? Hey, Haywood. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Watch the slats.
And here we go on 4th. Darnold. And no, it's incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
To throw is Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 3rd down, Jackson. He finds his running back, Nixon. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Again, it's Mixon, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Jackson. He gets this in the hands of Mixon.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down, so you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. Bullock's kick is good, and they add on and get a little bit of a cushion. It's 20-16 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I get a defense that can hold up their end.
To throw again on 2nd down, Darnold. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On the run, it's Mixon. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Here's a give to Mixon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Here's Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Check, 59. Let's go, G.
He'll look to throw. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Vigil. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Anunwa, the intended target. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
They had the extra week of rest. That was a factor. I think this home crowd was certainly a factor as well. So this is step 1 done. Now they need to win next week if they want to get to the Super Bowl.
I like those 2 factors that you brought up. The extra week, getting the open week by being the number 2 seed, a terrific home crowd for them, coupled with really good play. That allows them now to keep their Super Bowl dream alive. One more on their way to the Super Bowl.
And, Charles, if you're the coach of the losing team, even though you made it to the playoffs and there's part of that that feels good, what do you say to your guys after?
I think you probably tell them how proud you are of them to make the effort to get to this game and then point them towards the future. If we're good enough to get here, all we've got to do is work harder, be better, and we can be good enough to go farther next season. How many times have we seen a team lose in the playoffs, and that girds them for a championship run in the future?
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know the shit, acting like they know me, 'cause I